Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the second session of Ubhaya Vibhuti Varanam course. Uh, Yesterday, we briefly talked about the introduction to the course and Goloka and its Navaran. Today, we will be talking about Mathura, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, and also the lotus of Vaikunta, the seven layers of Vaikunta, Ayodhya, Dham, and other related things with respect to Vaikunta. Before that, to again give the revision uh, of the different abodes of Krishna Loka in Chaitanya Charitamrita only. I don't exactly remember the verse, but it is from Chaitanya Sanatan Siksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the Krishna Loka, because Goloka, it is also a planet. There are innumerable spiritual planets in the spiritual biome. So Krishna Loka has got three divisions to it: Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokul. Now, as we know, here also Mathura is a district and Vrindavan is a part of it, like in the modern uh, demography, like how do you say, geography. So over there also Mathura city proper, and then we have Gokul. Now this Gokul is called by different names: Shwetadeep, also Vrindavan, Vraja, and Goluka is a part of it, wherein people, as we have discussed, those who worship in the form of, who have awe and reverence in their worship, and who perform Vaidhi Bhakti, which Rupa Goswami explains in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, 1.2.303, if I'm correct. And Vishwanathan Chakravarti Thakur in commentary to this verse, that those who worship in this mood, they attain that Goloka. So that is like, it is Goloka, but there is prominence of reverence. Aishwarya is there. And after that, we have Dwarka, and in between, we have Jagannath Puri. The reference for Jagannath Puri is from Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumar is being directed by Narad Muni and Uddhava when he has come to Dwarka. So he says that you can go to Puri, or he says that you can directly go to Mathura. So we know that it is between Dwarka and Mathura. So this is the distribution. After that, to talk about the Chaturbhyuha which are there, which we had discussed in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada, because so if one has read Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, there are four types of. So this is like Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. It is for the first time that Srila Rupa Goswami presented Bhakti as a rasa. Okay? And it is the template is based on how a standard Kavya Shastra is written. Okay? Lakshana Shastra is written, meaning that there are two types of Shastra. Okay, so one explains. Suppose if you are writing a book on, let's say, on dramaturgy. So one is explaining what is drama, types of drama, how to do drama, and another is a drama. Okay, an example of drama. So one is the Lakshana Shastra, that which explains. So Natya Shastra, on that template only Srila Rupa Goswami had written the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And therein he is explaining on that, those who know about Kavya Shastra, they can very well relate to it. So over there is this description of types of heroes and types of heroine. Okay, so types of hero, it means so four types are mentioned with respect to Krishna, and then there are subdivisions like that. About 64 types have been mentioned: Hero Dad, Hero Lalit, Hero Prashant, and Hero Tata. And Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha, they are also corresponding to all these four features. So Vasudev form which is there, and these four personalities, they are at the, as we had seen the Brahma Samhita verse number 5.5, and they are so there is a square shape structure, like that is the geography of Goloka, and they are at each of the different sides of the square, and they preside over all the three dhams, the Mathura and Dwarka predominantly. Then Jagannath Puri is also included in that. So Vasudeva, and also it is mentioned in the scriptures many places. So Ram, Lakshman, and then Bharat, Shatrugna, they are the forms of Vasudev, Pradyumna, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, respectively. So Srila Prabhupada in Nectar of Devotion is explaining that Vasudev, he is the form of Dhiroda. Okay. So Dhiroda, he is a type of hero. He's like Lord Ramachandra. The best way of explaining it is Maryada Purushottam Bhagavan Ramachandra. So he's forgiving, very merciful, very brave, gentle, determined, humble, okay, very highly qualified. He's a very like he's like Lord Ramachandra. So Vasudev corresponds to Dhiroda form. After that, the Sankarshan, that is the Dhirodat form. Okay. So the Dhirodat form is one who is kind of very envious, a very proud person who can be very easily angered. So it can be, Prabhupada explains the nectar of devotion as the example of Lord Balaram. Okay, Lord Balaram, he would get angry, he would become angry very easily. So that is how it is explained. After that, we have the example of Pradyumna. So as we know, Pradyumna and the Cupid of this material world, he is also he has taken his quality from Pradyumna. So Pradyumna is also known by the name Cupid. Okay, Kamadev or Ananda. There are different names for Pradyumna, and he is the form of Dhira Lalit. So Dhira Lalit is like uh, you can say he's like a playboy. Okay? Very funny, very youthful, expert in joking. Okay, so he is always in a very playful mood. So that is the form of Pradyumna. And the Dhira Prashanta. So Dhira Prashanta is a very peaceful, forbearing person. He's a very uh, it is not the exact way you can understand, but you can say he's like kind of an introvert person. Okay? So, and that is Aniruddha. And also, these four personalities, we will see it in the next class when we are talking about the process of creation. They are the Adishpratu Devta for Chitta, Ahankar, Buddhi, and Manas. That is the consciousness, um, conscious and ego, intelligence, and mind. So Vasudev, he is the he's the in charge for consciousness, Chitta. Okay, so and that is the consciousness of the soul proper, which is spiritual. It is visual. It has Vasudev has no relation to the this material universe. Then we have Sankarshan, who is responsible for Ahamkar, and Ahamkar, as we know, like Mahatattva, Sutra Tattva, and then Ahamkar. So that is in the mode of ignorance. So sleep, dream, everything which we get is because of Ahamkar only, mode of ignorance, which is there. So he is the Adhishtratu Devta for ego. And Lord Shiva also, as and Ananta, who destroys the universe, the fire emanent from mouth. So they are all partaking their qualities from Sankarshan. Then we have Pradyumna. He is in charge for intelligence. Okay? And Aniruddha is responsible for mind. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says that one who wants to control his mind should worship the Aniruddha. Okay? And so there's a term Antha-karan. Okay? Many times it comes in Bhagavatam, third canto, 11th canto. Antha-karan. So Antha-karan consists of it is the inner body, subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego, and chitta. So these four are the presiding deity. I was just searching for that word, which to for the Sanskrit for that is presiding deity. So these four are the presiding deities for the Antaka. So one who wants to control that, Prabhupada mentions in the first canto, fourth or fifth chapter, somewhere in the early chapter of first canto, and also in the third canto, they should worship the Chaturviham. There's a mantra also. Om Namo Bhagavate Tuvyam Vasudevaya Sankarshan. So this was with respect to the four the Chaturviha. And in Laghu Bhagavatamrita also, uh, Srila Rupa Goswami has given elaborate description of how they are. We'll see that also when we are covering, we are going through the yuhas. sorry, not the view hug, but the layers of the Vaikunta. After that, when we were discussing about, so you can also simultaneously open the Goloka chart. When we were discussing about the centralmost part, the filament, the pericarp. So we discussed that how Radha Krishna, Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadu Mada Srimad Ratnagara Semasa Srimad Radha Srimad Devo, Krishna Levi, Sevya Manas Parami. So they are sitting on a golden throne beneath Kalpa Vriksh, and that this place is known as the Yoga Peeth. Okay, the Yoga Peeth is a technical term, and many places you find. Even in Vaikunta, there's a Yoga Peeth. So where Lakshmi Narayana is sitting, that is also a Yoga Peeth. In many places, Yoga Peeth, Shakti Peeth. Okay, because there is a Peetha Puja. Actually, how it happens is it is subject matter of some other class, but in the tantric worship, they worship using nyasas. Mudras. So nyas means you put the deity on your limbs, and you have the mudras. Okay? You do the different mudras, and then you have established one way is the Krita Puja, okay, which we do in the Yagya, and also there is Pita Sthapana and Pita Puja. Okay. So you establish the deity whom you want to worship, any deity, it can be Shakta, Vaishnava, Ganadhatya, Saurya, and then you do the puja. So that Pita, and it has some qualities also. We will extensively see it when we are discussing about Yoga Peeth of Vaikunta, because elaborate description is given in the Lagu Bhagavatam Pita. So this place, okay, now this is the Seva Kunj. And in Vrindavan, in the Prakrita Vrindavan, which we know, Radha Damodara temple is in the Seva Kunj. And Prabhupada said that Radha Damodar temple is the spiritual center of the, if the material universe, the material world is the chakra, so this is the center. So it is not that Prabhupada just, we just metaphorically or rhetorically we say, it is, when acharyas they say something, there is great import, great, uh, message behind that. And it is not just that by chance Srila Prabhupada had his quarters in the Radha Damodar temple. He chose to stay in Radha Damodar temple because he knew it. I mean, it's not just that because he could not find any other place or because this place was very, he could very easily get it, it was for cheap. There is all this purpose, great import. And also we know uh, the Shad Goswamis, because Radha Damodar Mandir, so that was established by Jiva Goswami. And all the six Goswamis, they used to gather in the courtyard of the Radha Damodar temple, and they used to discuss Krishna Katha, how to spread the Krishna conscious movement. At that time also they used to have discussions. So since that time only we have this. So therefore this is the significance of Radha Damodar temple, that being situated in the Seva Kunj. And in Seva Kunj only we have the Yoga Peeth, where Radha Krishna is sitting on the golden throne beneath our Kalpa Vriksha, and which is at the center of Krishna Lok. So this was with respect to the Yoga Peeth. And so now we will discuss about why do we, and we had also discussed why we have so many different lokas. Okay, why so many different forms? Because the way the devotee worships the Lord, in that way he manifests. Okay? Though we say so, it is not that it happens. When we say this, it means like we are talking about in a scale of time. Okay, so if I am worshipping in some way, then Lord will manifest in one way. Some other person comes, he is. It is not that at t equals to 1 I was there and at t equals to 7 or some other person. It is the way it is happening. It is eternally in this way. Okay? And there is no time in spiritual world. So it is beyond time. Okay? So it is not anadi, and so because we say anadi with respect to the material world and the Viraja river, which for spiritual world there is no time. Time is there as we have discussed. It is only to facilitate the leelas. Okay, just to say that now it's night time. So there is sunrise, sunset, there is sun, moon, all the planets, everything is there. When one goes to Goloka, it is not some different thing we will find. Everything is same. Of course, in a very divine nature. There is no question of it. There is no excessive heat, excessive dust over there. It is mentioned. Just remember this, that so here gold is very valuable. Gold is very beautiful to see, very beautiful to wear, but it doesn't have any fragrance. But in spiritual world, Acharya has explained that gold is fragrant also. Okay, so all the five, like all the five senses which we have, the tanmatras, they are present in all the um, objects, all the aspects of the Goloka. Okay, so that is how that planet is there. And it is said, not even what to speak of spiritual world, even in when Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, we find it from first canto that there was never excessive heat nor excessive cold because Maharaj Yudhishthira, because he was following the Vedic principle, he used to rule. And his entire praja was also so pious that there was no excessive heat nor excessive cold. Now like we have. And the rain used to happen at the, when it is supposed to happen, during the rainy season also. This thing which we see now, excessive cold, excessive heat, then excessive cold. So, and there is a cycle. There is excessive heat, and when there is excessive heat, then there is rain occurs. Even now, in the month of October, in the November month, also we see rain happening. Sometimes even in the month of May and April, we see rain is happening. So because there is all one way is okay, we have damaged the environment, global warming, and environmental pollution that is there. But the reason is why that is happening is our sinful activities. So even in during Yudhishthira Maharaj Shasan, it used to happen. So then what to talk about spiritually? So there, according to Krishna's will, according to the need of the pastime, things can happen. So this was there with respect to the spiritual planets. And now, why we have the different Vaikunta, Ayodhya, why this is there. So in Vaikunta, you can note this down. There is only dominance of Daksha Bhav, Shanta Bhav prominently, and Daksha Bhav. That is the only rasa which you find. There is no friends of Vishnu. Okay? You never find any friend or Vishnu is playing wrestling or he's playing hide and seek with any of his associates. There is no question. In Ayodhya, superior to Vaikunta, not just in the form of opulence, but also in the form of rasa. There is prominence of Sakya Bhav. Example, we see the example of Hanuman. So Hanumanji serving Lord Ramachandra predominantly in the form of Dakta Bhav, but there is also Sakya element which is there. And Bhagavan Ramachandra, he has friends. So there is no full maturity of the rasas, but there is Sakya Bhav. And also there is Vatsalya Bhav, Dasharath Maharaj, Kaushalya Devi, they are there. But they are very well aware that Bhagavan Ramachandra is the Lord, and we never find Yashoda, my mother Kaushalya, chastising. So you can say that there was Lord Ramachandra never gave any opportunity to Kaushalya Devi to do chastise. That is also there. But they are always in a way of reverence, and Bhagavan Ramachandra, the way he manifests his leelas, there is always the, the element of awe, reverence that my son, he is the supreme personality of God. That is very well. So, but there is a upgradation of the sweetness of the Mahadurya. Then when we go to Dwarka, wherein there is a lot of sweetness which is there, and but they are very well aware that Krishna is our supreme personality of God. But they see that so Yadava was there in the Dwarka. They say that he is from our family. Okay, so there is that closeness, there is that relation of a family member which is prominent. And then we have all the five rasas which are there. Sakya ras is there, Vatsalya ras is there, Madhura ras also is there. No, Madhura ras, you may ask that Madhura ras is there in Vaikunta also. But first, that is only with Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is always serving in a very menial way, Lord Narayan. Okay? In Ayodhya, there is some sort of uh, not equality in the way, but there is some sort of intimacy. And then in Dwarka, there is, Satyabhama, like now Rukmini is very ideal. She is like Lakshmi Devi. She is very, in a very menial way, in a very congenial way, she serves Krishna. But Satyabhama, she has that element of mana, pranayam, of mana. Sorry. But that is not fully mature. That gets matured in the in Srimati Radharani. You never find Lord Ramachandra or Lord Narayan falling at the feet of their consorts. That is only there in Vrindavan, Anand with Leela. Then when we come to Jagannath Puri, Raja Rajesh. So there also Lord Jagannath, the way he is there, he is present in that way only in Jagannath Puri. But there is a lot of intimacy. So the people they worship over there, but they think that he is of our family, he is of our family. Okay? Not just some distant family member. He is our family, he is a member of our house. So there is a lot of intimacy. In Mathura, again it is the same Yadavas, but then there is very close. Okay, they only very seldomly are aware of the fact that he is the supreme personality of God. And then in Vrindavan, then there is no question of Krishna being the supreme personality of God. In Golok Vrindavan, the concept is Lord Narayan is the supreme personality of God. So any calamity happens, Lord Narayan is worshipped. Okay, when Shaktasura and Truna, Shaktasura. So when Shaktasura was killed, so then it is explained in Garga Samhita. So Yashoda Maishi become very worried about the safety of her child. And then she had one kavacha recited. I don't remember the name, but it is similar. It is not exactly the Narayana Kavach from the sixth canto of Bhagavatam. It is there's a different name to it. So she had it recited, but it is similar to the Narayana Kavacha that may Upendra protect the feet of my. May Lord Upendra protect your feet. May this form of the Lord protect this limb of the body. So like that it is mentioned. Okay. So over there also the conception is that Lord Narayan is the supreme personality of God. There is no question of um, the worshipping Krishna. After that, so this is the division of rasa, which is there from Vaikunta to Goloka Vrindavan. And the Madhurya rasa, which is present in the Vrindavan, that is in the Parakiya Bhav. Everywhere else it is Swakiya Bhav. Okay, so in the way of Paramore, Krishna is worshipped by the gopis. So now with this being done, so now we will come to the lotus flower of Vaikunta. Okay. Now in Vaikunta, first we will, so now I'm directly referring to the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, the description which is there, present over there, in the fifth chapter from 225 to 229th verse. The description is there. Okay, so the context is that Krishna's superiority to Lord Narayan is what is to be proved, and Rupa Goswami is explaining the different. He begins this quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam when Lord Brahma he has performed his penances, and Vishnu is very pleased by him, and he manifests his form to him. Okay, so therein the description is that the Lord, so Brahmaji, when he had performed austerities and he got the entire darshan, the 3.15 we have the description. He got the entire vision of Vaikunta, and in 3.15 also there is description. So from after that, Lord instructed him that everything will be revealed to you. We'll see it. The prayers of Lord Brahma, and therein From there, Laghu Bhagavatamrita begins the description. So, there the description is first of the Vaikunta in general, that in Vaikunta it is beyond the three gunas. No material guna is prominent over there. There is no predominance of influence of time. There is no external energy. It is beyond the um, three guna. The demigods, they also worship this. The inhabitants of Vaikunta, they are having a sky bluish complexion. Their eyes are like lotus. So they are very similar to the Lord. We will see about the associates. Okay, their dress is yellowish in color. Features are very attractive. All are in at the stage of growing width. All have Chaturbhuja. So all the it's not only that Lord Vishnu has Chaturbhuja. In fact, even Lakshmi, she is present in Chaturbhuja form, and all the associates of the Lord are all present in Chaturbhuja form. So, because it is explained that the when a devotee attains the one of the planet in the spiritual planet or in the spiritual sky, so he attains a form similar to his worshipful deity. So if someone worships Nrsimhadev, he will also achieve the form of Lord Nrsimha. Okay, so his half body will be in the form of a lion, and other half will be so Narahari in that. If someone is worshipping Matsyadev, in that way, it is there. So when he's worshipping Lord Narayan, so he has that form. Okay, so this is explained. And one worships Krishna, okay, so if he is in the form of a Gopa, or Sakyabha, then he is also in the Gopa Vesh. In the form of a Gopi, then she attains, the devotee attains the form of a Gopi. So according to that mood, everything is there. Like we have the Siddha Pranali, 11 things which I mentioned: the complexion, the dress, the age, the seva, the place of residence, under whose leadership, under whose gopi leadership. If it is in the Manjari Bhav, in Javadharma, that description is given. So Siddha Pranali. So this is how it is there. And when they are wearing ornaments of rubies, sapphire, emerald, amber, everything. So I think so. Krishna willing, on the last day, I'm planning to, briefly describe the Gopakumar's journey from Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and also the from Brahma Vaivarta Puran. There's an extensive description of. Um, so the context is that so Mother Earth, she is very despondent because of the har of all the adharma which is happening. She goes to Lord Brahma with all the demigods, and Lord Brahma says that now we should actually go to Vaikunta. We should speak to Lord Narayan to appear. So then, when they are going to Vaikunta, a description is given of the Vaikunta. Then Vaikunta, Lord Narayan says, "Okay, now let us go to Krishna, to Golok Vrindavan." So now Vishnu, Mahavishnu is taking, Lord Narayan is taking all the demigods to Golok Vrindavan. And then that description is given. So therein we find the description that when Lord Narayan Vishnu goes to Goloka, so how we have gatekeepers in the Vaikunta. So we all know about this. How Jai Vijay is there. We will also see that there are four dwaras: northern gate, southern gate, eastern gate, and I think so. Jai Vijay are from the western gate. Okay, so when they go over to Goloka, there are gatekeepers are there in the form of Gopas who are there. So they stop. So they stop Vishnu and they say, "What happened?" So with their stick, which they tend the cows with that, so that is gold studded. That description also given in the Brahma Vaivarta Puran. It is fully gold studded, and they stop. Of course, in Goloka, they never, beat cows, but they still have a stick to just to direct. Then the description is that, and then Mahavishnu, so the demigods, these people, they pause, they stop them. What happened? Who are you? So then Mahavishnu, he comes, he says that, so Mahavishnu is giving his, not Mahavishnu, sorry, Narayan, the Narayan of the Vaikunta. not Mahavishnu. He comes in front. He is giving his kind of introduction that my name is Narayan. I'm from Vaikunta. These are the demigods from material universe, and we have come here to meet Krishna. And it is not that they are very amazed by the description of, oh, Vishnu has come. They said, okay, wait for a moment. We'll check with our boss, Krishna, if he's free. So then they go, one of the the gatekeeper, he goes, he says that, there is, Vishnu has come to meet you. Krishna says, okay, then I will come. So then Krishna comes, and then that meeting is. So the point is that in Goloka, they don't care for Vishnu. And there is no, even in Garga Samhita, that description is given. That demigods, they come to meet, and then gopis, they have stopped. So yes, and they also enter into the Vrindavan, and then they go to and over there also gopis, they are there, and they kind of tease the demigods. They said that these demigods, they stay in a Brahmand, in a kind of a egg-like shell which is full of darkness. Then these are all Badajis, demigods, so right, left, right, center, there, chest size, all their ego, they are very kind of, belittled when they realize their position. Because over here, they are worshipped by everyone. In the Swarga, all opulence is there. But when they go, and then the description of the opulence the um, of the different planet of the Vaikunta, all the different planets that is given. Like, so it is not that the sweetness increases as we go from Vaikunta to Goloka, but Aishwarya also increases. Goloka Vrindavan it is more opulent than Vaikunta, but they don't care to exhibit it explicitly. Like we have Kalparikshas everywhere. Of course, in Vaikunta also it's there. But the entire flooring, so to speak, is made up of Chintamani. And in Vaikunta also there is Chintamani, but they have it. So the Lakshmis over there, they have it, as a Chintamani stone, which is there on their ring or on their toe. So when they go there, they are shocked that what we wear as a ring, they have it. Their floor is made up of Chintamani. So, but they don't care about it. And there are so many jewels which Brahma and when we are discussing Mahapadma, Padma, Kachapa, and different jewels which are there. Some of the jewels they are not even there in the material world. So they are unheard of. The demigods are shocked to see it. The seashore, it is made up of marble. Okay, and not remember. And also there is no on the seashore we have dust, but there is no dust over there. There is camphor over there. Somewhere it is camphor, somewhere it is some other element. Okay, so in that way there is only opulence which is there, and the steps which are there. Okay, they are made up of gold. The walls are made up of marble. The pillars which are there, they are studded with some pillars. They are fully made up of ruby, or they have gems studded over there. Okay, and of course, it is even in India also. It is mentioned that recently, in 500-600 years back, also, um, Krishnadevaraya, Maharaj Krishnadevaraya. So his guest room, there was one foreign traveler who had come in Krishnadevaraya's kingdom, and so he was given a guest house to stay, and the guest room to stay. And in the guest room also, the walls were made up of gold. And when his kingdom was looted by the invaders, the Muslim invaders, it is mentioned that so many elephants, so many thousands of elephants, so many thousands of horses, atop of them, they had carried the gold from his kingdom. So, that is how the culture was. Anyways, so now so there are airplanes also in Vaikunta. There is a big thing about it. We have mechanical. Okay. I think so. There is one Shastra, Vaimanika Shastra. There it is explained that in the Satyuga, just by remembering, just by thinking of it, the Vimana used to manifest. Then in the Treta Yuga, it was by mantra. So you have to recite some mantras and then it was mantric. Then in the Dwapar, it was through yantra. So you would have to actually construct uh, a Vimana. And then in Nikali, it is mentioned that it is going to form in the present of it will be present in the form of very gross way, like how we have the airplanes over here. We have the jet engine. So the fuel comes, it is burnt, and it passes through the turbine. It gets rotated, and then there is an exhaust, and that's how the airplane is propelled. Okay, so it's a very mechanical, though we feel very kind of very proud about it, the advancement, but it makes so much of noise, pollution is there, and it's a headache to actually travel in an aircraft. But in the previous ages, so that was also of a different time. So, and then in Sarglog also, there is the uh, airplane which is there, and in Vaikunta also, and it is mentioned that yeah, there also, I mean, uh, the devotees, I mean, just to give more perspective to how the spiritual world is, that there also husband wives are there. And it is mentioned in the but Sri Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport. In the 3.15 only, when the description of the spiritual world in the Vaikunta is given, because the description is that so the male devotees they are traveling in airplane with their wives, okay, and they are attracted to each other. The Prabhupada mentions that, but that attract they are together they are singing the glories of the Lord. And this he says that so there is that full twin wife relationship which is there, but of course there is no question of sexual relationship between them. And so there is that affinity, but service to the Lord Narayan is in the center. And so they have the airplanes, and the husband wife they travel in them. Okay. Also, I had heard in lectures. So those devotees, Grahastha devotees, who are very sincere and who go to when they attain the spiritual world, there is a great possibility of them being husband wife there also. Okay, so in that way, it is the situation is in the spiritual world. After that, we find the description of the yoga pit. Okay, so if you see the middlemost portion of the lotus, so Lakshmi Narayan they are sitting. Okay, so the description is that there is the all the different palaces. I think so all the opulence, everything is there. Then as one goes to the center of the Vaikunta, okay, then there is a palace of the Lord. In the palace of the Lord, there is a yoga pit. That is a throne, which is white in color, and it is golden, and Lakshmi Narayan is sitting on it. Now, Lakshmi Narayan, there, so as we know, Devyad Vrindaranya Kalpa Gurumada, Srimad Vatnagara Simhasana, so Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo, Preshta Levi, Sevya Manusmarami. So, by their close associates, served. They're surrounded by them, and they're served by them. So, even in Vaikunta, that similar thing is there. But now, because in Vaikunta there is Aishwarya Bhav, so now we will see that by what Lord Lakshmi Narayan they are surrounded. Okay? So, they are surrounded. So there are many things which are there around. So we will go through it sequentially. So this is from Bhagavatam, second canto, 9th chapter, 17th verse. The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the four, the 16, the five, and the six natural opulences along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. Okay, so now what are these four? These four are the uh, Ladini Shakti, Kirti, Karuna, and Tushti. Okay? Kirti means fame, Ladini is the Ladini aspect, Karuna is the compassion, and Tushti is the satisfaction. And the 16 energies which are mentioned, they are in the form of 7 plus 9. The 7 are Sri, Bhu, Kirti, Ila, Leela, Kanti, Vidya. And the 9, which we had also discussed in the uh, in the Yoga Beat of Goloka, Vimala, Utkarshini, Jnana, Kriya, Yoga, Pravi, Satya, Ishana, and Anugraha. So the 16 plus 4, 20, and then the 5. That is the 5 types of knowledge. There is Sankhya, Yoga, Vairagya, Tapa, and Bhakti. So these are the 25 energies which are there. Okay. So 4 plus 16, which is of 7 and 9, 20, and then the 5. So these are the 25 energies by which the Lord is surrounded. And also is surrounded by Dharma, Jnana, Aishwarya, and Vairagya. And it is mentioned, if you see what I said, that temporary characters. So temporary in the sense that these things, these characters, the Dharma, Jnana, Aishwarya, Vairagya, they are temporary in Brahma and other demigods. But in the Lord, it is present in eternally in full form. To the highest degree, it is present in the Vishnu. So now also, if we see 2.9.17, and when we see the um, description from what Sara Darshini, so Sara Darshini is the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's quoting a verse from Padma Puran. So all this description which we have is from Padma Puran. Padma Puran 6 chapter 228 verse, we have all this description of this Vaikunta. All the different avaranas and everything is taken from Padma Puran. In Laghu Bhagavatam, there's also Rupa Goswami is taking it from Padma Puran. Now the five Shaktis, over there it is mentioned that so one is the five knowledge which we have spoken about, Sankhya, Yoga, Vairagya, Tapa, and Bhakti. But there are also other five, which is Kurma, Ananta, Garuda, the Chandas, the Vedic meters, and the mantras. All the mantras, they are in their personified forms. They are present. And then there is explained that the four, so we had spoken about 4 and 16. So that 4, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, it can also refer to Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva, and Ahamkar. And 16 can refer to the 10 senses and the 5 gross elements. Even Vallabhacharya in his commentary, Sri Subodhini to Bhagavatam, he has also mentioned this. And over there we find, so he is giving even more description that the uh, the uh, the seat of the Lord, it is in the form of lotus. Okay, and that lotus, it has got, so there are 3 coverings to the lotus. Okay, and so the first covering is of the uh, 4 petals are there. 3 covering the sense, so it is like a lotus, and then there are 3 layers of lotus petals. The first one has got 4 petals, and that is the Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva, and Ahamkar. The next covering, it has got 16 petals, and that is the 11 sense organs, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, and then Manas, and then the 5 subtle Tanmatras that is there. And the third covering which we have is of the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So the 5, the 16, and the 4, this again comes out to be 25. So here and they are taking the other 25, and Sripad Baldev Vidyabhushan, his commentary to Laghu Bhagavatam Pita, is what I had explained first. And also, and that is based on the Rupa Goswami's description. So both the things are there. So everything, you can understand that because he is the, there's one name of the law, and voice is too low. Check. Now is it proper? Hare Krishna. Now properly audible? Hare Krishna. Properly audible now? I think so it is properly. So the volume is at max level. I think so it is hard. No, it is audible, but is the volume it is at apt. Okay, anyways. So Rupa Goswami and what Baldev Vidyabhushan that is there, and we have this 25 elements also, which is explained by Sarah Darshini and also by Sri Subodhini of uh, Vallabhacharya. Also, the four Shaktis, Dharma, Jnana, Aishwarya, and Vairagya, Krama Sandarbha. So, Krama Sandarbha is one commentary by Srila Jiva Goswami on Bhagavatam. Okay, so Srila Jiva Goswami, he wrote kind of two types of commentary, if you are to say it that way. One is seriatim commentary type of commentary, and one thematic type of commentary. Seriatim means sequentially we go, and that is the Krama Sandarbha. Krama means order. But that is based on his thematic type of commentary, which is he takes it in a theme way. So that is known as uh, Bhagavata Sandarbha, or famously known as Shat Sandarbhas. Tattva Sandarbha, Bhagavad Sandarbha, Paramatma Tattva Sandarbha, Bhagavad Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha, sorry, Krishna Sandarbha, then Bhakti Sandarbha, and then Preeti Sandarbha. So that is a thematic analysis. And often in Krama Sandarbha is quoting from this six Sandarbhas. So he has mentioned, he explains, he gives this comment that the four energies, the dharma, etc., they are on the four directions: east, south, west, and north, respectively. Okay, so we find that direction. Now, to speak about the gatekeepers. So we will talk later about, we will follow the flow of Lagu Bhagavatam Pura. Then it is further described that it is free from all the kleshas which are there. There is no three guna which is present. The Lord's associates, they are present in the form of blackish, they have a blackish complexion, or reddish, or green, or white. So it is explained that by worshipping the Lord in a particular complexion with a particular mood, the devotee attains a similar form. But the Nitya Siddhas who are there, they have a similar uh, form. Now, to speak about the sadhana siddha and Nitya Siddha, in the Jaiva Dharma of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has explained that there are three kind of associates: Nitya Parshada, Sadhana Siddha, and Nitya Siddha. So Nitya Parshadas are the very exalted devotees, the Uddhava, gopis, prominent gopis, and all the associates which we heard of, Vishwasen, Garuda, and all, they are Nitya Parshada. Nitya Siddhas are those jivas like us who are in the spiritual world. In sadhana, so, and then we have the Baddha jivas who are in the material world. Now, when we do sadhana, when we attain perfection, when we go, we will become sadhana siddha. So, uh, Baddha jivas, and those who have perfected their lives, they are sadhana siddha. Those who are there in the jivas in the spiritual world, they are nitya siddha. And then we have the nitya parshad. Parshada is there nitya parshad. Okay? And for more details, you can go and read Jaiva Dharma, chapter number 14, chapter number 15, chapter number 16. That is on Jiva Tattva. And it is explained that how different types of Jiva they emanate from different, well, they manifest different Jivas. Okay. for different pastimes of the Lord. So those Nitya Siddhas, they are from the uh, the Mahan, they are from the Baldev expansion of the Lord. And this the Nitya Siddha, the Nitya Baddhas, not the Nitya Baddhas, the Baddha Jivas and all the Jivas in this material world, they are from the Karana Lakshaya, Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So this is the next we have that the Lakshmi, she is always performing service to the Lord, all the types of seasons. The spring season is prominent, and then there are other seasons also as per the need. But spring season is said to be the king of all the seasons. That is that. Now we will talk about the gatekeepers. So in the chart also, go look at chart, you can see that uh, the gatekeepers who are there, they are mentioned. So you can refer to the chart. We will begin from the eastern direction, that is right. The gatekeepers are Chanda and Kumuda. And the gate name is Kumuda. Sorry, Chanda and Prachanda. And the gate is Kumuda. In the southern direction, we have Pundarika, and the gatekeepers are Bhadra and Subhadra. In the western direction, we have the Shanku Karana and Jay and Vijay. So we know that the Chatuskumara, they had gone from the western direction. And the the northern direction is the Hatha and Vidhata. And the protector is the Sumut. So there the protectors are also there. So Kumuda, Kumudaksh, Pundarika, Vamana, Shankukarana, Sarvanetra, Sumukha, and Supratishtha. So they are the protectors of the eight directions. They are not the gates, I said the gates, but they are the protectors. And then there are gatekeepers also, like how we had the protectors of the Vyoma also, which we had yesterday discussed. So now there are rows of houses which are shining like millions of flames, occupied by divine men and women who are eternally youthful. In that city of the Lord is in the middle of that city is the Lord's attractive palace with jeweled walls, excellent festoons made of leaves, filled with many towers, large houses, mansions, decorated everywhere with heavenly women and apsaras. In the center, there is the celestial festive pavilion for the king, that is Lord Narayan to sit, splendid with thousands of ruby-studded pillars, eternally devoid of material influence and reverberating with the sounds of Vedas, Veda verses. In the city of that pavilion is the attractive royal throne surrounded by Dharma Jnana Aishwarya. So we have already got, I'm again repeating, Dharma Jnana Aishwarya Vairagya, who are situated as the eternal presiding deities of the throne. And there are also the Veda personified. Again, we have fire, sun, moon, Kurma, Shesha, Garuda, Vedas, Chandas, Veda mantras, all the mantras which are there, they are present. And also the Yoga Pita is composed of all the letters of the alphabet. So all the varnas which are there. I just want to clarify one thing. Yesterday I had said that the Shruti, it is present, it is the Krama and the Swar. I had said the word Swar, but it is the Varna. So, so the way the mantras are there, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasra Shakta, Sahasrapad, or Purna Adaha, Purna Idam, Purna, Purna Madhachate. There is the order. That is known as the Varna. So that and the Krama, it is eternal. Not Swara. Swara is a different thing. I had used the word Swara, but the word is Krama. And the word is Varna. Okay. Further, it is described that in the center of the Yoga Pita is the eight-petal lotus. Its brilliance is like the rising sun, and in its center is the Gayatri mantra, acting as the perikar where the Lord is seated with Lakshmi. And he has the complexion of blue lotus, shines like millions of suns, playful with a soft and charming limbs. He has the Kaustuba jewel, ornamented with three lines, bedecked with pearl and gold necklaces. He has broad shoulders like a lion, four broad arms, ornamented with rings, bracelets, armband, and Kaustuba jewel. Furthermore, you see that Lakshmi Devi, she is serving the Lord. She has a lotus in her hand. She is endowed with all the auspicious characteristics. Her limbs are anointed with sandalwood. Her locks, hair locks, they are decorated with attractive flowers such as mandar, ketaki, jati. So, because flower decoration is there. And her description is given. She has attractive eyebrows, nose, lips, and like that. So, elaborate description of Lakshmi Devi is given. And then there are 500 women, heavily apsaras, decorated with all the ornaments, and they reside in the palace. The Lord is surrounded by this woman, and the women. So when we say woman, it is all Chintamani, Paragala, Sadhu, Kalpa, Viksha, Laksha, Vitesh, Sarabhi, Rapi, Kala, Lakshmi, Sahasrata, Parentam, Purnamati, Brahma, so these all the women. So any woman who is there is Lakshmi. Okay. That is to be understood. And then Vedas, they are there. So all the 25 elements which are there, all are present. The mind, intelligence in their personified form. Now we will discuss about the avaranas, the different layers which are there. Okay, so there are seven avaranas. So you can also simultaneously you can see you can check out the Goloka chart. So the first avarana. So also before that you can see, so here also we have many things which are there. Okay. So Bhu and Leela, these are also the wives of the Lord. They are also present. Dharma, Jnana, Aishwarya, and Vairagya. So that is also being depicted. And then Garuda, Vishwa, they are also there. And also all the aksharas, A, A, E, E, O, O, Ro, 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 E, I, O, all of them they are present. So, and then we have the nine energies of the Lord. Vimala, Utkarshini, Jnana, Kriya, Yoga, Parvi, Satya, Ishana. They are also surrounding the perikar. Now we have the forms of the first avarana. So the first avarana is the Dvitiya Chaturbhyuha. So to talk about the Chaturbhyuha, that before that there is one more point actually. There is one more point. Yeah, yes. So okay, so we will we'll see it. We have the Krishna, we have Balaram. From Balaram we have the Adi Chaturbhyuha. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These four forms are present on the Goloka. Okay, Adi Chaturbhyuha. From the Mahasankarshan, sorry, from the Sankarshan of this Adi Chaturbhyuha, we have the Narayan of the Vaikunta. From this Narayan of the Vaikunta, we have the Dvitiya Chaturbhyuha. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. This Sankarshan is also called by the name Mahasankarshan. From him, we have the Karana Daksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. From him emanates the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and from him emanates the Shirodaksha Vishnu. Okay? And so, like this, we have this one. So, the Dvitiya Chaturvya, which is present, They are in the first layer of Vaikunta. Okay, and they are present with their wives Lakshmi, Saraswati, Rati, Kanti. So the Saraswati, who is the consort of Lord Brahma, she is also like, you know, she partakes and nature from this Saraswati. So the first layer is Divya Chaturthi. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Lakshmi in the northeastern side. On the southwestern side we have Saraswati, northwestern side we have Rati, northeastern side we have Kanti. Then in the second avarana, we have the 24 forms of the Lord. These forms of the Lord we will see when we are talking about the different types of avatars. So how do we have this 24? So they have Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And so by the different combinations of this, we have the, so some have Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Some will have Gada, Padma, Chakra, Shankha. Some will have Padma, Gada, Shankar, Chakra. So like that, when we take the permutation 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, okay, we arrive at the answer of 22. So like that, we have the 12 forms, the 24 forms. We'll see it. And now this 24 forms, so they are around the Vaikunta. And it is also mentioned that they are also around the Goloka. So that is also, that description is there. Apart from that, just seeing if I'm missing any point. Then the third avarana is the Dasha Avtaras. Matsya, Kurma, Vara, Narsimha, Vamana, Parshuram, Rama, Krishna. Now this Krishna is only the Goloka. Okay? Buddha and Kalki. So as I said now, so you may say that, oh, now this Krishna Loka, it is at the uh, it is not at the center of the life. How do we understand? So as I said in the first class, it is not that I mean, of course, uh, Goloka is at the center. But according to the mood, according to the worship, the deity which a devotee worships, that devotee will manifest at the center. That devotee's plan will be there. That devotee will perceive it that way when he goes to spiritual level. So the third avarana is of the Dasha of parts. Now the fourth avarana is of the eternal associates of the Lord. So these are not Vishnu Tattva, but they are associates of the Lord. Satya, Achyuta, then we have Ananta, we have Durga, we have Vishwaksen, we have Ganesha, Shankhanidhi, and Padmanidhi. To give some clarification on Durga and Ganesha. So these are not the material demigods, but like we now, I mean, if someone is hearing it for the first time. So when we say that Ganesha and Durga, we say that, oh, it's similar to the ones which are there in the material. Okay, so because we know this, we do not know this. Okay, we have studied in the reverse form. So we said, okay, like they are in the material, they are there in the spiritual. But actually, like the way they are in the spiritual world, they are in the material. Because these are the eternal associates of the Durga and Ganesh. Okay, and the ones who are there in this material world, they partake their nature from them. Okay, so why they are same name? Because when the Lord created this universe, he wanted to always be reminded of his devotees. So he gave similar names. And so he gave the name Ganesh, Durga to the associates. And that's why we have the verse, Narayana, Vishnu, Narayana, Shiva. But all the names, they actually refer, they are originally of the Lord. The Lord gave his names to different elements. Okay. So, any doubt on this? Okay, is it clear? They are the they are the original uh, associates. And the demigods over here, they get their energy, everything from them. We will see when we are next session. We will see with Brahma also, because there is a prototype Brahma also. Brahma Samhita only is there. We'll talk about that. So, any doubt? Now, the fifth Avarana is of the four Vedas: Yagna, Gayatri, Garuda, and Tharva. Yagna in the sense Makha. So, you can see in the fifth Avarana, we have the Rigaved, then we have the Gayatri in the personified form. We have the Yajurved, we have the, I think so, next one is um, Garuda, Samaved, Dharma in the personified form, Atharva Ved, and Makha in the Yagya person. Okay. In the sixth Avarana, we have the weapons of the Lord. And not just weapons, the other paraphernalia of the Lord. Beginning from the eastern direction, we have the Shankha. So now here, when you see Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Lotus, Sword, Sword's name is Khadga, bow's name is Shranga, the plow name is, I don't remember the name. So it is mentioned in the in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, that there, Hala, and then the mace, Mushalena. So if you see in the Goloka chart, wherein you will see that they have given the picture of Shankha, Chakra, Gada, but it is not in this way. They are in their personified form. So these associate also, they also have personified form of four, um, the four hands, and like entire, like how we have Vishnu. So how to distinguish them? Then it is mentioned in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita that at the front side of their crown, they have the symbol of their respective. So it is Shankha, they will have Shankha. If they have Padma, then it will. So because everything, the appearance is full same, almost identical. But based on the symbol which they have at the front of their crown, it can be distinguished. It is mentioned in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So when now, I mean, if those who are studied, Simple Kumar, he didn't know. I mean, he did not, as now you all will get to know by the Guru Prasad and by the seminar. So you are now understanding everything. So now when you go, you will know everything. Okay, now this is a seminar. Krishna will you should remember. So he didn't know anything about this. That's how it is given in Real Bhagavatam. He was not aware of. I mean, but when see, he was a simple Brahman of Raja. So when he was uh, he was in Varanasi, some Brahmanas over there told him that in prayer, even he was in prayer, then he told them that, Swarga is a place which is to be attained. He said, oh, these thought that Swarga is the supreme abode. Right? So he chanted his mantra, he was given one mantra, and then he attained Swarga. And he thought that this is all it is. He becomes Indra also again. But then he finds that Yeah, but because he was chanting the Gopal guy, Om Kilim Krishna Govinda Gopijana Vallabha. So he was searching for Gopala deity, but he could not find that. So he used to reside at that abode, at one particular abode, but then he would feel there is something which is left. Then someone tells him, then one fine day, uh, the the associates from the Maharloka, they come. Bruhamuni, yeah, from Maharloka, they come. So effulgent, the demigods, they are opening their obeisances. So he said, who are they? Because he thought that Swarga is the Gurem Apo. And they tell him, oh, they are from Maharloka. Wherein, when they perform Yagya, the Lord personally manifests as the Yagyapati in each and every house. Okay, so if you see in Maharloka, the description is that so do, so over there they are constantly doing yagya. So when you do your yagya, the Lord manifests in his personal form from the yagna kunda. And he personally takes the offerings, he accepts it, and then he so, really? So then he goes over there. So in Swarga, he saw the form of Upendra. So you should see that Lord Vamana, Indra used to worship him. He decided that maybe I can worship. So then he becomes Indra. Somehow Indra, his skulls he is hiding. So, again, now going through the entire story, but he's worshipping Upendra. But he sees that there is not that closeness. So he goes to Mahadev and he sees this is all in all. But still he's feeling dissatisfied. He says that the Lord comes in, but then he goes. So then one fine day, the Chatur Kumar, they are come. They come to Maharlok. They are visiting. How we visit, how we have our ISKCON devotees visiting, for preaching. They go to different ISKCON centers. So there also they just go kind of visit. So and all the associates uh, of the Maharloka, they are offering their obeisances. So we asked them, who are they? So he said, oh, they are from Tapalo, very superior people, where they are constantly meditating in the Lord. So Gopatama said, okay. So when he goes, he chants it. So the thing is, he's chanting his mantra with the aim of achieving a particular abode, and then he achieves that abode. So then he is in uh, Tapalo, where they tell him, you should constantly meditate. So then they always meditate on the Lord. They always have their eyes closed. They all are sitting. They are always meditating in the Lord. People are in a rishi. And they are constantly, their eyes are always closed. Sometimes they open their eyes, and at that time also they are discussing how can we improve our meditation. Okay, so they discuss about it, and then they are going to close their eyes. And we have one incident uh, from Tapalaka because if you see, Prabhupada in one of the purport in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says that in Srimad Bhagavatam we find the description of all the different times, descriptions from the past, past from the past time, from in the present time, what is going to happen in the future, and of the different lokas. So we have it. It's true. Also, the discussion of 10.18 point of the prayers of the Vedas personified. So now this, if one reads, you will find that one time in Tapaloka, so they were sitting and they asked, I think so it was to Sanat Kumar, if I'm not mistaken. Sanatam. You can find it out in the Bhagavatam. Sanata or Sanam. So there they asked the question, and then the description, um, In that description, the topic of the prayers of the personified Vedas come. Okay. So now this discussion which is going on, this is happening in the Tapalok. Okay. So from where we have it. No, so sorry, this is from the general. Just checked it. The discussion is about, yeah. So everything is for, like, I mean, all I said is correct, but the discussion is happening from as the sages listen, Lord Narayan Rishi related to Narada, an ancient discussion about the absolute truth that took place among the residents of Janalok. Therein, the Sananda. So the sages, they were, um, they chose one of them, that is Sananda of the Chaturthima, to speak. So, and then he's speaking about the prayers of the personified beings. So we have it from all the different lokas which is there. Okay. So now our Gopakumar, so he lands up in Janalok. Then he says that one fine day, Tapaloka, Lord Brahma comes, visits. And he says that, oh, this Chaturthima, they are also offering their obeisance. Who is he? So then they say he's Lord Brahma, he's the creator of our universe. And, he stays in Satyal. So then he goes to Satyal. And like this, now this description is there. So we will see it at the end. So now we will resume it from here only. Okay? But our Gopakumar, he has reached Satyal. Anyways, so we have covered the sixth avarana. Now in the seventh avarana, it is the devotees of the Lord, the prototypes of the demigods who are residing. Okay, the Dikpalas, basically. On the eastern side, we have Indra. In the southeastern side, we have Agni. In the southern side, we have Yama. In the southwestern side, we have Neruti. In the western side, we have Varuna. Northwestern side, we have um, Vayu. At the eastern side, northern side, we have Kuvera. And on the northeastern side, we have Ishan. Okay, so now these are demigods. So we may think that they are, as I said, these are the prototype demigods. So Indra is the associate of the Lord, who is in the spiritual planet, in the spiritual world. So the material world's Indra, he partakes his qualities. He's a kind of a one aspect of the Indra in the spiritual world. So that is how the description is given of the Vaikunta. So we have discussed the Yoga Pita, the surrounding of the Yoga Pita, the seven avaranas, the gates, the gatekeepers, and the protectors of all the eight directions. So, any doubt up until now? It is now the description of the eight of the avaranas is completed. So, any doubt pertaining to this section? Yes, so no doubts. So, shall we proceed forward? Okay, fine. So, we will proceed forward. So, now we are going to, with this, our description of the spiritual world is kind of ended. One thing which I had told you that I will speak about yesterday, that at the end, but I couldn't speak, so I will cover that. The different books wherein you can find the descriptions of the abode of the Lord, the associates of the Lord, of Golokam, Krishna, and the Leelas of the Lord. So that you can find. I suppose it is in the I had made some one list I had made actually. Yes. Yeah. I had made a list actually for the books which are there and also kind of categorize. I'm unable to find the list actually. Uh, here, just a second, I will find the list because it is very important. So, I mean, you can just keep a note of it. And you have your entire lifetime. We can kind of go through it. Not able to find it. When I find it, I will speak about it. So anyway, so now we will be discussing about the different avatars of the Lord, the different types of um, the incarnations of the Lord. So firstly, we will discuss about. So now this is going to be you have to little bit in the Goloka chart also you have it, and at the right side you have it. On the right side there is the description of all the different associates, all the different avatars, the Leela Avtara, Prabhava forms, Vaibhava forms, and all the different forms that is being mentioned over there. So that also we can actually refer to. Yeah, so finally found the list. So if one has to go, you can maybe when you at the later stage of one's life we can study to find the wherein in our Gaudiya literature we find the description uh, of the pastimes of the Lord. Prominently find it in the Gopala Champu of Srila Jiva Goswami. It's a very, very interesting book. You know, so much so that it is worth learning Sanskrit to appreciate the profoundness of this book. There's a dictionary in Sanskrit, Amara Koshan, wherein we have all the different words. No? All the words of that Amara Koshan is at least once used in Gopala Champu by Srila Jiva Goswami. Secondly, all the sutras of Harinama is with Vyakaran. So he had written one treatise on Vyakaranam, that is the Harinama with Vyakaran. So he's explaining. So Jiva Goswami is a very, very, very amazing Acharya. You know, when Srila Prabhupada says that only two scholars were there. You know, Srila Jiva Goswami, my Guru Maharaj. So he's not, Prabhupada never says anything just rhetorically or metaphorically or exaggerated. You know, it's not a, but he actually means it. So, Srila Jiva Goswami, he has written a treatise on Sanskrit grammar. He has written Shat it is about 4 lakh words in total he has written. It's a very philosophical book, Shat but a very, very amazing book. The book which establishes our Holy Siddhanta. Not, it is not only Gaudias who study or who should study, but it is also the Madhva scholars, they also study. And many, many people they are studying. Jiva Goswami. That is an amazing book. A work which stands, there is no uh, point which is being ever refuted in this 500 years history of deliberation, and even in future it is going to be the same. There are some foolish idiot people who kind of find it there, but there is no thorough, even a single point which can be refuted. Very, very powerful books, something worth reading. Very difficult sense of steps in the past. That entire audio philosophy is extreme. Everything is extreme. So it is not that the stories and technical details which we are discussing, which is there. It's briefly in some details of it, but it is more about the philosophy. It becomes from a very, it becomes from pramanas, the highest pramana being Srimad Bhagavatam, talks about the 10 topics of Bhagavatam, the vision of Srila Vyasadeva, the realization of Shukadeva Goswami, Tattva Samvata, refutes Mayavad philosophy. When it comes to Bhagavan, in Bhagavad Gita, it's talking about Bhagavan, and the basis is the Advaita Tattva Visam Tattva Yadna Madhyam Pramiti Parmanam Bhagavati Siddham. This was of the first canto. So the Lord is present in the three forms: Paramatma, uh, Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman. From then he goes to Bhagavad Sandarbha, discussing about the Bhagavan, his Tattva, his Dhama, his Leela, associates. Then he comes to Paramatma Sandarbha. It is very technical. All six Sandarbhas, Bhagavad Sandarbha and Paramatma Sandarbha. And for the books are such that for one to actually understand Mr. Sandarbhas, one is to read it in Sanskrit. Good Sanskrit. You can have English translation. But much gets lost in the English translation. And also to have a preliminary knowledge of at least two fields: Sardarshanas and Sushika Sankhya, Patanjali, Karma, and Vedanta, and all Alankar Shastra, Shastra. Because Shivaji was not very casually using different concepts. Panchanga Nyaya, Shadalinga of Karma, some points from the Sankhya Patanjali. One has to know actually. And in Preeti Sandarbha is extensively uses the concepts from Alankara Shastra. So, and then Paramatma Sundari is explaining the relationship of Bhagavan with Ishvara, with Maya, and with Jiva. Very technical, how the Shaktis of the Lord, everything is explaining. So this is the three Sandarbhas with Sambandhi. Then in Abhidaya we have the entire Bhakti Sandarbha. In fact, in Bhakti Sandarbha, we know Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Sakam Bhakti, Nishram Bhakti. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami had mentioned 365 types of Bhakti. Okay, the types of type and like that. Okay. So extensive analysis of Bhakti. What is to be done, what is not to be done, the Navda Bhakti. Everything is analyzed in Bhakti Sandarbha. After that, and before that, I mean, I always said it. Krishna Sandarbha is between. And in Krishna Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami is explaining, taking Etesham Sakalapam Sa Krishnasti Bhagavan Sarvindyari Vyakaram Lokam Vrideyanti Yuge Yuge. Taking this as the Paribhasha Sutra. Okay? And this is also concept from Karma Mamsa. He is explaining Krishna, his abodes, his leelas, his superiority to other leela, other abode, to the other forms of the Lord. And also in the Paramatma Sandarbha, he's the first person in our parampara. And it's not like Balda Vidabhushan, he of course gave the commentary on Kama Sutras. But Srila Jiva Goswami, in the end section, 105 or 106 Anucheda, so we have Anuchedas in Sandarbha. He is explaining the first four sutras, Janmadhyasya, Shastru Viveka, Shruti Shruti um, He's explaining that how Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And he's explaining word by word, he is explaining. He takes the first verse, Janmadi Savyasavan Mayadi Karta Shate Tene Brahmardayadi Kve, and he's explaining word by word, he's explaining it. And also with the guides. Okay. So it's very amazing analysis. If one is philosophically inclined, one should read it. It's very amazing. Then in Priti Sandarbha, Srila Goswami expounding the entire from Ava, Prema, Man, Pranaya, Mahabhav, Anurag, Rag, all analysis, everything is that is the some Prayojana Tattva is extensively described in the Priti Sandarbha. The Abhidaya Tattva is described in the Bhakti Sandarbha. And the first four Sandarbha, it is all about this. So it's an amazing work that Srila Goswami. So I was talking about Gopala Champu. So Champu means usually we have prose and uh, the, the, the verses and the prose. But Champu is the form where we have the padas and we have the prose also. Like in fifth canto we have the prose. So both the forms. It's a very difficult way of writing. So it's a type of poetry in sense. Gopal so Champu. So Gopal Champu, written by Srila Goswami. Therein we find extensive description of all the Krishna, the marriage of Krishna that is mentioned. Then we have the Anand Vrindavana Champu of Kavi Karanapura. So all the Balya Leelas of Krishna is explained here. We have the famous Gita Govinda, whom Lord Jagannath actually listens to every day. We have, it is written by Jayadev Goswami. We have Krishnadas Kaviraj Das Goswami's Govinda Leelamrita, again expounding the other Leelas of Allah. We have Srila Rupa Goswami's Lalit Mahadava, Vidagdha Mahadava. So Lalit Mahadava is talking about the Leelas of the Krishna in Dwarka. Vidagdha Mahadava is talking about the Leelas in the Golok Vrindavan. And actually, he's written one book, and it is mentioned that Satyabhama came in his dream, and she said that, maybe you can segregate the Dwarka Leela and the Krishna Leela. So he wrote the two books. Then we have the Dhanakeli Kaumudi, again written by Rupa Goswami. It is mentioned that Rupa Goswami had written the Lalit Madhav. And then there is Vira, there is the Vira of Krishna and Leela, of Radha and Krishna. So he gave his book to Raghunath Das Goswami to, just check. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he was so saddened by the Vira Leela that he became very remorse. He was very, he gave, he used to not even come outside of his bhajan koti lines. He was very sad by hearing the Vira Leela. So Rupa Goswami became very, very upset because he had stopped eating everything. He became very, his health also went down. So Rupa Goswami, just to satisfy him, he wrote the book Dhanakeli Kaumudi. Because therein the tax collection pastimes of the Lord that is explained at the Dhanavana. The logo that we have. So the gopis, they are coming with their yogurt, and Krishna in the form of a tax collector, he says that, wait, I am a representative of Kamsa. If you have to use this path, you have to give me the tax. From that sweet interaction or friendship. So Rupa Goswami, he gave this book, and then hearing this playful pastimes of Raghunath Goswami became very elated. And then Rupa Goswami said that, no, maybe you can give me that book. And he quietly took the first book. And then Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, he also wrote one more thing, Dana Keli Chintamani. Okay, Dana means the Vanadhat pastimes. Keli means the pastimes. And Kaumudi means the moon and Chintamani means the. So therein again he is mentioning the both pastimes. Uh, Not the both pastimes, but the text collection pastimes of the Lord. Then we have the book of uh, Chamatkar Chandrika. It is mostly written by, I think so it is written by uh, the uh, Vishwanathan Chakravarti Thakur. And another difference between this Danakali Kaumudi and Danakali Chintamani. So Jiva Rupa Goswami is written in more in a formal, structured and theoretical, grounded way in Danakali Kaumudi. And Danakali Chintamani is more, there are more, it is more rich languages used. There are many rhetorical and literary intricate. It is written in a very intricate style, and there are many elaborate figure of speeches, example of Radha questioning Krishna. So if you know that thing, the conversation which is going on in Krishna, I don't exactly remember now. So Krishna is he's saying something, and Radharani is always taking the other way. It's a very amazing book. Okay, so the Danagali Kaumudi of Rupa Goswami, it is in a very classical way, theological way, but the Danagali Chintamani is in a very literally rhetorical way. And then in the Chamatkar Chandrika, the how the Ragapa, the Ragunika Bharat is to be followed is explained. And then we have again Vishwanath from Chakravarti Thakur's Prema Samputa, and then Raghunath Das Goswami's Vilapa Kusmancham, the Vilapa Pashtan. To speak about the Mahimas of the Vrindavan Dham, we have Vrindavan Mahimamrita, or I think so it is written by Prakashan and Saraswati. Braja Vidhi Chintamani, that is written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Again, it's a very nice book. It's a very nice description of the entire Vedra Leela. Sorry, the just the so therein is giving the transcendental tour of Vrindavan, where what is situated in Vrindavan. We have Sanatan Goswami's Krishna Leela Kava. And then we again have the Sangeeta Madhav. I think so. That was also written by Rupa Goswami. So like this, there are many books. There is also Madhava Mahotsav book written by Shilaji Goswami. After that, in Puranas, we have to mention the Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, Bharata Puran, Vaikhunta Puran, Brahmana Puran, Skanda Puran, Harivamsha also, which is the esoteric part of Mahabharata we have there, and again the amazing Garga Samhita. Wonderful, amazing Leela. It's a very simple concept of Garga Samhita. So the marriage of Radhakrishna that is mentioned in Garga Samhita. And the Bhakti Rasa, as I was talking about, how the Bhakti Rasa, it is well expounded in the Bhakti Rasa Sindhu, following the template of Natya Shastra, also the Ujjwal Neelamani. So Srila Rupa Goswami thought that to expound the Madhurya Rasa, he wrote a separate book, Ujjwal Neelamani. So it is a culmination, it is a continuation of Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. We have the very famous Madhurya Kadambini of Rupa Goswami, again expounding the Bhakti Rasa Tattva. And the Ragamatma Chandrika, which is explaining the path of Raga. In Chamatkar Chandrika, actually the pastimes of the Lord is mentioned. It's a it is pastimes of Jatila, Kotila, and amazing book. It's a small book, but it's a very amazing book. Also, I'm just mentioning the Kavya Alankar, which I mentioned, the Kavya Shastra. So that is, we have it in the Alankar also of Kavi Karnapura Bhakti Rasa Shesha, written by one of the devotees, one of the disciples of J. Swami, expounding the Kavya, okay, giving the definition of Kavya, that we have first rate poetry, second rate poetry, third rate poetry, the Shabda Alankar, the Artha Alankar, the Gunas of Kavya, so these are all just grammatical things. The Ritis, Gauda, Panchal, Ritis, etc. We have the Natya Chandrika of Rupa Goswami, explaining the how a drama is to be written. And Chanda Kaustubha, Sri Baladev Krishna, explaining different types of symbols. So, our acharyas, they have done extensive work. It is something which we should actually, not everyone, but those who are philosophically inclined, those who are interested in Saitya, those who are interested in Sanskrit, they should read. Otherwise, why all these things happen? Why all these things we have? Why do we have Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasacharya? That story that they were going through, then some thieves, they stole their books. They are struggling so much to get back the books from the king. Okay, Chamanand Pandit, Srinivasacharya, Narottam Das Thakur. Why do we have all this? Why do we have 10 lakh verses, Sanskrit verses written by Mr. Goswami? It is for us to think about, study about these things. Krishna willing, gradually, because now, ISKCON, actually a baby organization. It's only 15, 60 years we are, but we have done tremendous work. Very, very grateful to His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj to actually translating all these works. Because now these works are translated. Now these works are getting translated in other languages, in Hindi language, some in Tamil languages, some devotees they are translating. And there are some works for children. So we have seminars also. Madhurya Kadambini seminar, Shafsangam seminars. Okay, we have the Goloka chart. So, gradually as we progress, many, many more things will come. So there are many things which can be done. Whole AI generated movies can be produced from this thing. Such extensive description as we were going through the description in Laghu Bhagavatam. You can have an AI generated movie from there. You can have paintings. Okay, you can have seminars. You can countless things which can be done. You can actually have a diorama, like a 3D model of it, in or you can have a hologram. So many things can be done. Okay, so those who are listening, who will listen in the future, if you have such kind of disposition, a technical disposition or artery, if you are interested in arts and language and linguistics, something, anything, everything, you will find utility is there. According to, for example, for cosmology also, generally people are very afraid of it, but you will see it. I mean, I hope you are now that the description of spiritual world is covered. It is difficult, okay. I know that it may be very difficult because you are hearing for the first time. I mean, I just go on speaking, but the right way of studying this is to you again hear this. You also simultaneously write notes, and constantly you have to hear. And at the end, I will mention, what all things you can listen to. Go look at chart seminar and about cosmology. Those things also you can mention. Okay. So after repetitive hearing, only you will actually be able to have all those things in your mind. Not just just once if you listen, you will understand. You can also ask without there's no problem. So, people they are just very there's a conception which is made that it's very difficult. But when you will see the description of the material, there is some difficulty to it. But if you patiently listen to it, it is very easy. Okay. So therefore, the devotees, we are his grace partners to know, very grateful to them for having writing the book of cosmology. Because they were interested, they did the research, and they continued. It is based upon the Bhagavad Tattva, the research of Danavir Maharaj and other devotees. So like that, on top of that only. So like we have this course. Okay. And I was saying that we have in Sanskrit we have Munitraya. Okay. Vakyakaram Varam Ruchim, Bhashyakaram Patanjalim, Panineha Sutrakaracha, Munitrayo. So these are in Sanskrit, To study, we have to study Panini, Ashtadhyayi, and then the Vartika of I forgot the Vararuchi. I forgot the name of the Vararuchi is the name. And then the Mahabhashya of Patanjali. So they are the Muni Traya Muni. So of this course also they are Muni Traya. Golaka chart of Gokul Chandra Prabhu. So Gokul Chandra Prabhu, Bhagavad Cosmology and Surya Siddhant book of Pavanesha Prabhu, and His Holiness Bhakti Padma Sar Prasad from Maharaj for the Kala Chakra and Jyotish which we will have. It is based on their things which we are having. This course is being built upon. So like this, things can be built upon. There are many things which can be done. So Prabhupada, so our acharyas, they wrote the description. Prabhupada emphasized on that. He told that we should be DOVP. So the Prabhu, he made the model. Danavir Maharaj conducted extensive research, Purana research. Gokul Chandra Prabhu, he made the Golaka chart. Mahaneshwar Prabhu and team, they made they had the Bhagavad cosmology. Now we have this Ubhaya Vibhuti Varanam. In future, there can be some 3D models, some PPT presentations also, many more things it can be expounded upon. So that is how it has to be done. Serially, gradually, things get built. Like we have the Madhva Sampradaya. Such very thorough. Sripan Madhvacharya, he wrote the Sarvamula Granth. So he has just in brief, and he was very brevity. That is, he was very succinct in his description. But it is then the other acharyas, okay, prominently Jaya Tirtha and Vyasa Tirtha, they, have given the extensive, uh, you know, the commentary. And on that, the Raghavendra Tirtha, Vadiraj Tirtha, like that, they have the Acharya Sampradaya established, even in Sri Sampradaya, and even in our Sampradaya. So, Mahaprabhu, he has just spoken, just cast from 8 verses, he has spoken. And he gave his Shiksha to Rupa Shiksha, Sanatan Shiksha, Sarabham Bhattacharya, and then uh, Ramananda, you know. And then we have the Shadu Goswamis writing their literature, responding on that. Then we have, because it is said that because Rupa Goswami, he was not satisfied, then he again came as Rupa Goswami and then he wrote commentary. So he again came as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and wrote commentaries. So he has written commentaries. Then we have Thakur Bhakti Vinod, the first modern acharya to have written something in Sanskrit, in English language. Very good. So this is the answer with Thakur, publishing the books, reaching Sri Prabhupada, then all the disciples of Prabhupada, Bhanu Maharaj from books, and the disciples of their disciples, they are doing this work. So in this way, it has to be done. Okay, so that is how it is being built. So, any doubts about it, or any comment, anything which you have on what we have spoken about, any tika tippidi or anything which you have? Nothing? Okay. So,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Prabhuji, your session is very, very informative. Lot of many things we have not heard about. We are learning it. We are hearing it for the first time. Very informative. But as for me, I find it difficult to remember. So it will be better if some material sort of thing we can get.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, for the material, when we describe the material universe, the material world, the material is prepared. For this spiritual, this portion which we have covered, actually, so I myself didn't know that I will be speaking about this. Since I had jotted out some points, and then whatever is coming on my mind, I'm speaking. So maybe, yeah, in future we can have some names. But it is difficult to retain everything in the first quote. But as I said, if you again hear it, you can have it. But for material world, I can assure you that there's some nice material is prepared. Herein there is it is only the Goloka chart which you can refer to, and maybe you can just write the notes, whatever you find interesting. But yeah, for next time when we have the version 2 of this course, we will have it.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice, Prabhuji. Thanks. Thank you.
Uh, so I'm thinking of instead of talking about um, the avatars of the Lord today, we will discuss it in the next session. So in the next session, we are going to discuss about avatars of the Lord. Second, the setting of the Viraja and of Brahman, Brahman aphorisms which we have. The and also the Mahavishnu and abode, and also the process of creation, Sarga. So that gets in for the third day in the material universe. 4, 5, 6. So yeah, at that time we'll discuss about it. Okay. So that is little going to be little different. So now this all these things, you were the only complaint which you had is that you could not written, but you were I suppose you were able to understand. But from now next session, it is going to be technical also. So you will not be able to retain and you will not be able to understand also. All those technicalities will come, but gradually, we will cover it. So in the next session, we'll cover that. If possible, please remind me. I will also keep a note of it that we have to cover the different avatars of the Lord in our next session. So please remind me if I forget. Avatars, Viraja, Brahman, and then the Sarga. So that we will be covering there. So if there are no doubts, so we can conclude today's session. So we'll conclude today's session. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Divya Save Vedai Sangha Pada Kramapanishide Gayanti Yam Samada Dhyanavastita Tadgatina Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusurasuragana Devaya tasmai namaha Om Purnamada Purnaidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.